Alright, check it out, yo. Yo, I'm a dad, so it ain't even slang when I say what up, son. Got 6, try to treat each as if it were just one. Custom styles, move crowds like when the bus come. Only way I'm getting to heaven is as a +1. So yo, pardon me if I ain't where the party be. I'm in the upper room like Dr. Shirley at Carnegie. With the pen, of course, pen and thoughts, no sorcery. God do talk to me, just not audibly. Still I be hiding my hard heart and card hearts. And it'd be really hard to flow through clogged arteries. But yo, hope to find love, no glossary. If the gift is greater than the gun, I got the armory. Yo, if you ever see my name up on the marquee, pray it ain't the day I missed the mark so markedly. I'm trying to brush up on my artistry and archery to let the whole world know. Ran round remarkably, kicking with the kids who couldn't tell me who their fathers be. Trying to show these kids what a husband and a father be. Tilling the soul soil and toiling responsibly. Where the farmers be, with medicine better than pharmacies. Like, no faith, no fun. If I know how the movie end, then I won't come. I want to be the one that's hollering, home run. Never saw it coming, so stunned that I don't run. Clock ticking, the plot thickens. Got everything I need, but still feel like a lot's missing. I'm at the table trying to peek in the God's kitchen. I came to the counter, but the sign said gone fishing. Yo, can you smell what the rock's cooking? Too far into the future, I'm not looking. It's funny how for now feels like forever, but I know better. I'm not pulling, I'm not pushing. Anything out of its proper place. Cause everything has got a proper pace. Between the seasons and cycles, the seed is inside you, the sequence is vital. Wow, so let not your hands become idle. And let not your fans become idols. And let not your friends become rivals, and let not your rights become rifles. The right to doesn't make it right to. I right to feel what the kids do when they pop willies on the bicycle. How insightful, life is delightful. Brief as a haiku, a breeze and a kite flew. Dreams got a pipe full, might need a NyQuil. Lights go out, I mean even on the Eiffel. I'm just an instrument, I'm not the maestro. Hope they don't get the wrong message like a typo. Two-step on a tightrope. Yo, this a disco and a dice roll. Life is like a dance with your eyes closed. Most of us would do much better with the blindfold. Yo, shout out to ScribbleScriptsMedia. Word. My name is Randy Mason, and I am from the Bronx, New York City. My hustle is art, is MCing, is hip hop. It's family, it's marriage, it's faith, kind of all of that in one is what I'm working on every day, and that's a big part of my hustle. What am I the most passionate about and why? That's a great question. I'm passionate about a lot of things. If I had to say what am I most passionate about, it would be my wife and my kids and music and God, you know what I mean? And then reaching young people. I have a program called R.H.Y.M.E.S-The, Help Young Minds Excell. So working as an art educator and teaching the art of MCing, mic skills and life skills, things like that is a big passion for me. Also I work at Thrive Collective, which is where we are right now at the office. And our thing is creating hope and opportunity in and around New York City public schools through the arts and mentoring. So all of that is what I'm most passionate about in life.
Be anything that I decide. If you want to fish, you know we find what coming from the lower east side. Keep on reaching from seaside. I can be anything that I decide. If you want to fish, you know we find what coming from the lower east side. Ready that reach high, touch the sky. One day walking through the park, I'll say with melody coming from my with great potential.
Welcome, my name is Randy Mason, and right now we are at the East Harlem Ministry Hub in East Harlem. It's a shared space with several youth organizations, faith-based organizations, and art organizations. So I'm gonna just take y'all on a quick tour of the space. So the space is in partnership with the church called East Harlem Redeemer. So shout out to Pastor Justin Adore and the whole ministry. They're in there. Then Thrive Collective is where I work. Shout out to everybody at Thrive. And this is Spaces. Jeremy the Real getting busy over there doing his thing. And East Harlem Redeemer staff. Hello, family. We have some organizations, Young Life and Young Lives here that work with young people as well. You know what I'm saying? Got Eli here, my little man. Say what's up, Papa. And this is the youth room. So we got a little kitchen space for different community events. The young moms were in here earlier. Building and breaking bread together. So here, a bunch of art, from the different artists at Thrive Collective and other artists that we've collaborated with in the past. Again, these are some of the partnering organizations that we share the space, that we have the privilege and pleasure of sharing the space with. Yeah, more art, just supplies, and sometimes the artists will be down here working on different projects or whatever, like that. So this particular project, this mural, was in partnership with the Union Settlement, Manhattan District Attorney, East Harlem Youth Opportunity Hub, and again, it's just celebrating and memorializing a young man who was murdered in East Harlem. So yeah, this mural is a dedication to him, and some of his friends and family actually came by and was able to participate in the painting of it, which is awesome. And once again, this is not I didn't paint this. It makes sure that's clarified. Shout out to Nico, Marissa, and Michaela, and the rest of the Thrive Collective team who put this together, who actually painted it. So that's the space, yo. East Harlem Ministry Hub. Who or what inspires me? So I'm inspired by my wife and my kids. You know what I mean? I can't overstate that. I'm inspired by faith. I'm inspired by God and nature and the world around me. I'm inspired by music and art.
That's a hip-hop honor. High school was out rapping in Harvard. Couldn't see that with binoculars back when I was on the fast track to spot bird. My papers turned weed, cold crack, and commerce. Told them now, we gon' rap in concerts. I don't need the sponsor. All I ever needed was my word. I'm telling with the goals and I ain't never play soccer.
Everyday life. If you listen to my rhymes and my music, you're gonna hear things that you could probably relate to, because they're things that I've experienced in life and that they work their way into the music. So yeah, I'm inspired by, being alive. What motivated me to create R.H.Y.M.E.S, R.H.Y.M.E.S, Help Young Minds Excell, is basically my love for hip hop and my love for young people. So my wife and I, we have 6 kids, right? So we have a big family. So I love hip hop and I love kids. And on top of that, my wife is a teacher and an educator. And so what happens when a hip hop artist and an educator get together, they give birth to an educational hip hop program. And that's how R.H.Y.M.E was born. Just servicing kids in New York City schools and in community centers all across, the boroughs, teaching, mic skills and life skills through the art of emceeing. I love I love hip hop, specifically emceeing, and I think there's much that can be learned, and there's a lot of things that can benefit young people within the culture and the art form. So that's why we started R.H.Y.M.E. R.H.Y.M.E. has probably been in, I guess, business or in effect for a couple of years now. Initially, it started with a different name. Initially, it was Hip Hop and Heart. But R.H.Y.M.E., we actually officially launched R.H.Y.M.E., with that name, R.H.Y.M.E.S Help Young Minds Excell, in 2020. But the work has been happening for several years, just under different program names and things like that. So R.H.Y.M.E. Has been, we've been able to partner and collaborate with the Bronx Council on the Arts, Bronx Native, La Bodega Studio, shout out to my man Product, Empanology, of course Thrive Collective, where I work. I'm the hip hop and studio arts director at Thrive Collective, and so we're always collaborating and partnering to create hope and opportunity for young people all throughout New York City. Who else? A lot of people. We've collaborated with my man Kevin Toledo at Vice, also another dope MC and educator out of the Bronx. Yeah, lots of folks we've been able to collaborate, and most notably, all the young people that have participated in the program, because their contribution and their collaboration has been a treasure to me. So working with young people in the Bronx has been probably the greatest collaboration that R.H.Y.M.E. has been able to participate in.
Got this feeling that everything's gonna change. Got this feeling that nothing gonna be the same. Got this feeling that it's Sunday and you may not recognize me by the morning, cause everything is about to change. Hey, say everything is about to change.
How do we recruit kids or get kids involved with the R.H.Y.M.E. program? There's several ways. So, sometimes we might get a grant from the city, and then we'll go to a school within a certain council member's district and provide the program there. Or we can, we recruit just by word of mouth. Like we put on social media, yo, we got this program, ages, blank to blank, whoever's interested. And so we recruit. There's a number of ways that we can recruit kids, or that we recruit kids for the R.H.Y.M.E. program. Whether it depends whether it's in school, in the classroom. Obviously with COVID, that has changed everything dramatically, right? So it's a bit different now. We're doing a lot of R.H.Y.M.E. online. Right now we're doing R.H.Y.M.E. Oh, speaking about collaborations, shout out to the Point CDC in the Bronx. We are collaborating with the Point to provide R.H.Y.M.E. online. Actually right now, it's happening on Mondays and Thursdays with young people. Also, the Living Redemption Youth Opportunity Hub in Harlem. We're doing R.H.Y.M.E. With the folks over there as well. So shout out to them.
No matter what they say.
It's special.
Right.
So, I had a great session with the kids. They recorded some lyrics. They wrote lyrics and recorded lyrics. The song is progressing excellently. Everybody did really well. I'm just packing up real quick and then heading to the studio to work on one of my songs. So stay tuned. I don't know the answer to that question. Yeah, what up to this?
Yeah, my brother from another working on this plastic property, La Bodega South Bronx.
We here. Stay tuned. Time to get some rest. Peace.
Where do we get our merch and our t-shirts from? So I collaborate with different people. Shout out to Playground 45, DJ Serve. He's done a lot of stuff with us. Shout out to the Bronx Native. We've collaborated with the Bronx Native, Amatis, to do merch. This collaboration shirt that I'm rocking actually right now Yeah, so those are some of the collaborators we work with for the merch that you can get right now. It's available. Just hit me up. So I think, how does rhyme contribute to society and to our community? Well, I think that, being a father, I'm really passionate about fatherhood. And sometimes, unfortunately, the case is that young people within our communities sometimes lack a father figure in their lives, or so that's a big part of it. Like the mentoring aspect is a big part of it. So I think that teaching the art of emceeing and using rhyme as a vehicle to reach young people, to mentor young people, to help facilitate their discovery of self-worth and value, I think that has an impact on community and society. I think helping kids to just tap into their creative abilities, you know what I mean? That they were, helping them to recognize that they were created and therefore they are creative, you know what I'm saying? And that way they can, explore creative means of expression, of conflict resolution, of collaboration, of education, of all of these different things. When I was growing up in school, and this is no shade at my experience, but like I did, when I got in trouble for rhyming in school. I got in trouble for drawing graffiti in school. I got in trouble probably at some point for dancing and b-boying in school. Like all of these beautiful things that I do now in school, I was getting in trouble for back then. And I had no idea that there was actually a possibility that I could cultivate a career in, using, the art form and the culture. So now it's really cool to kind of go to schools and be like, yo, it's okay to, explore the elements of hip hop and the art form that hip hop is, because now I think it's more widely recognized as something that is beneficial and profitable for not only young people, for people in general. I always say hip hop is good for your health, you know what I mean? So.
Even in quarantine, the sword swing. Shadow fencing with the pen to keep the form clean. Never know when try to run from the war scene, cause morphine only makes more fiends. Saints in the field, New Orleans, prayers back in style, look at all of the torn jeans. I never know what the norm means, all I know is following your dreams. Hey yo, my future is foreseen, so I don't have to worry, it's already the sure thing. Just as sure as the water the shore brings, so keep doing your thing, we'll move it up over the Lord brings.
Yeah, my journey and how I got into teaching hip hop and emceeing has basically just, I think it really grew out of fatherhood, you know what I mean? It grew out of me raising my kids and kind of enjoying the mentoring aspect of fatherhood. And then again, my wife is an educator, so my wife would come home and tell me like, oh, we had these musicians visit the school today, and it was cool. And at the time I was working in healthcare, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. What if I did that, right? And I had previously done a few like one-offs where I would visit a school and maybe rap or do like a career day, something like that. But I hadn't really developed a curriculum or anything. And so basically I was inspired by my wife, who's a super amazing educator. And so I was inspired by her, I was inspired by our children. And so we created, some lessons and some curriculum to teach, like, yo, we could actually teach the art of emceeing. And I took just everything from my experience, from what has been taught to me or what I learned just through experience, and try to put that into activities and a program that kids might benefit from.
Mere words couldn't describe, but what kind of writer would I be if I didn't try? With similes and sounds to synthesize, the narrative is imperative, I reply to your reprise. I sing it every morning when I rise.
What does the curriculum consist of? Well, definitely is teaching the art of emceeing and actually how to. So there's the how to write rhymes, right? Like there's the structuring of bars and the components of songs and the actual step-to-step process of songwriting. And then we get into creative writing and figurative language, and then we get into performance and public speaking, and how do we take what we've written and communicate it or perform it, right? We get into freestyle and improvisation, and then throughout the whole thing, the emphasis is really on building the bridge between mic skills and life skills. So it's not just about rapping or even becoming a rapper. I always tell people it's not about becoming a rapper. It's about exploring the art of rap and seeing what can we glean from that and what transferable skills and principles are within rap that I might be able to use in another area, right? For example, learning how to freestyle and learning how to improvise as an MC can benefit you in the real world in so many different settings, right? How often do we run into a conversation or a situation that we were not prepared for, and we have to improvise and we have to freestyle. We have to be able to look around and be quick and clever and respond accordingly. Also with public speaking, also with creative ways of learning or teaching. So there's all of these elements involved within it. And again, I talk about the elements of hip hop, right? Specifically the art elements of hip hop. So you got MCing, DJing, graffiti, and b-boying, right? And so I try to build the bridge between, so MCing is about having a voice, right? Everybody has a voice and deserves to be heard, right? So that's not specific to rap. That's a human issue, right? All human beings have a voice and deserve to be heard. So MCing helps us to discover that voice and to find that voice, and also to be a voice for other people, right? And then you think about graffiti and what that's about, and like everybody having a name. The first thing that we get when we're born is a name, right? And so graffiti is kind of a vehicle that we use to help kids to recognize that, they have a name and it's valuable and it deserves to be recognized, seen, and celebrated, right? And then you can express that name and who you are in creative ways. So everybody has a voice and deserves to be heard. That's MCing. Everybody has a name and deserves to be seen and celebrated. That's graffiti. Then you have DJing, right? Which speaks to community, right? When the DJ plays music, what happens is people come together. Oftentimes people set aside differences and we could get down for this moment because that record is dope, right? And so DJing is about community, not only community, but about manipulating technology and remixing and being resourceful with the things that we have available to us. So the DJ, essentially is, manipulating technology to create something innovative right on the spot, taking two turntables and vinyl records and bringing the breaks and all these different things. So it speaks a lot to what tools do we have available and how do we maximize them, right? And then finally, b-boying, right? Breaking. It's all about movement, right? So there's like the PE, physical education aspect of it, but there's also the figurative aspect of it, like a movement, like what is your movement? What moves you? And there's also an element of freedom I see in breaking. You know what I mean? When I see somebody break, I see freedom. And so when we teach, the kids, I don't teach breaking, but we teach like the history of hip hop overall, and we focus on the art of MCing because I'm an MC first. But even when we talk about breaking, it's like, we talk about movement, we talk about freedom, we talk about liberty and all that kind of stuff. So that's a little bit of how we try to build the bridge between mic skills and life skills, music and mentoring. Which is why, real quick, by the way, if I failed to mention, I work at an organization, a nonprofit called Thrive Collective, and that's where we are right now. It's the office where we create hope and opportunity in and around New York City public schools through the arts and mentoring. And that's why I work here, because I believe in the work that Thrive Collective does to reach young people all throughout the city. I believe that not just myself, but all the other artists doing murals, doing media, doing music, doing mentoring, I think that it has a great impact on young people in the city. And I had, I dropped out of high school, you know what I'm saying? I had like an interesting educational experience. So it's almost ironic that I would be working in education now, but that's also fuels my passion for it. It fuels my passion for it because I recognize, man, when I was in class, I just wanted to leave so that I could work on art. But because the art wasn't being celebrated or even welcomed within the classroom context or setting. So now I want to make sure, we want to bring art back. That's one of our things, #bring art back, right? 400 some schools in the city and far too many lack, art teachers, art programs, you know what I'm saying, for young people. And so what happens to the person who identifies as an artist? So what happens to the young man or the young lady who learns best through art, or you know what I'm saying? And so it's like their modality or their mode of learning isn't even available, right? So we like to make sure that we bring art back to as many spaces as we possibly can.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Randy Mason. I'm a hip-hop artist from the Bronx, and I'm a teaching artist at R.H.Y.M.E.S Collective, where we create hope and opportunity in and around New York City public schools through the arts and mentoring. And guess what? Yo, I'm about to take over the So Far Sounds NYC Instagram account. So, yo, you don't want to miss it. It's about to be official. We're going to do some freestyling, some interactive activities, you know what I'm saying? We're going to do some lives, maybe have some special guests jump on. I mean, whatever y'all want to do. Let me know what y'all trying to do. I'm down for it. Stay tuned. Make sure you tune in. Randy Mason, So Far Sounds, NYC, R.H.Y.M.E.S Collective, Bronx, New York City, all that good stuff. All right? Peace.
How did I get into rapping and hip hop? So there was two fundamental stories that I think about when I'm asked this question. One is I fell in love with rhymes and writing rhymes when listening to my older brother rap became more interesting than playing Nintendo. So I remember I used to be playing Nintendo and my older brother Wes would be kicking freestyles, sitting on the bed behind me, whatever, and I caught wind of it. I heard him rhyming and I just turned and I kind of never turned back. It caught my interest, it piqued my interest, and so that was like the beginning of me playing around with words and rhymes, and I was probably, maybe 8 or 9 or 10 years old at the time, so just playing with freestyling and stuff like that. So shout out to my brother Wes, big inspiration, huge influence in why I do hip hop today. But then there was another story, another situation that jumped off, which was at a 5th grade school dance party in the Bronx, right? I tell this story a lot. So I was standing on the side of the party with my man Steven at the time. We was having Italian ices, right? And so we having Italian ices, and of course, I had the world's greatest flavor, right? Y'all can say it with me on 3. 1, 2, 3.
World's greatest flavor.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't say coconut, then we got a problem. We got an issue. We got a serious issue. So, you know what I mean? I had the coconut joint, and then I was too afraid to dance, so I'm just playing the sideline with my man. We just watching the scene, and then the DJ played a song that changed my life. The DJ played "Killing Me Softly" by Lauryn Hill. And so I'm like 90 pounds, right? And so the bass is kind of like vibrating the whole room. I'm just shaking. And I'm watching the kids and they like singing the hook and everything. And it just blew my mind. I was like, man, whatever this is, I want to be a part of this, right? And so I knew in that moment I wanted, and so I think my whole life has been trying to recreate that moment as an artist, trying to recreate that feeling. When I'm rocking live on stage, I'm trying to recreate that feeling for myself, but also for people in the room. And so that was a big moment, a turning point where I knew I wanted to do hip hop music.
With my peers, yo, I can't even copy. I'm busy kicking it with the kids in the concrete, sipping this coffee and visiting auntie, playing my favorite song and I'm singing it off key, probably offbeat, killing me softly. Man, I'm just trying to live, I ain't trying to be lofty. However costly, whatever it costs me. Big things, small things, God is in all things. I rub my eye trying to see through the nebula.
I've attended quite a few hip hop conferences. Over the years, I guess most recently during COVID, shout out to Crosswords out in Australia. That's another hip hop conference that we're participating in virtually. And then we've also done some virtual like festivals here at the R.H.Y.M.E.S Collective. I'm working on a lot of new projects, a lot of new songs. I'm writing rhymes and songs all the time. Specifically, I have a project with a producer named Gainsborough, who's a super dope producer out of San Antonio, Texas. And we have a project that drops on Friday, and it's called Remix the Sky. And I'm super excited about it. pretty cool because when we were writing the album, I didn't know what to call it. And so I did this like social media challenge. I put out a prompt. I said, yo, you know, what should we call this? And I put up a private stream for folks to listen to the demo and then give me suggestions for titles, like what should we call this? And yo, mad people responded with all of these ideas and titles that were all amazing and a whole bunch of feedback, and all of that really fueled the project and inspired us to finish it. Ultimately, we went with R.H.Y.M.E.S-The Sky. Somebody suggested R.H.Y.M.E.S-The Sky. And so we went with that as the title. So that's about the drop. Shout out to Gainsborough. Then I got joints, some that are out and some that are coming out with a producer named Finestro, who's another super dope producer out of New York. Yeah, just joints on joints on joints on joints. A lot of music coming out. So please, yo, follow me on Spotify and Apple and wherever you listen to music, YouTube and all that.
Hey, yo, we talking about the jam.
Okay, now here goes nothing. Tell a DJ to keep the railroad running. Running out of ink, I'm about to go squid hunting. Running out of paper, better call Paul Bunyan. I be on my knees praying, Lord, do something. He be on the move, asking me, are you coming? I feel like new plumbing. I'm a conduit, I can't do it, so who's fronting?
So I collaborate with, you know, a variety of producers, like, you know, Gainsborough out of San Antonio, super dope producer, who produced, you know, together we created the album R.H.Y.M.E.S-The Sky. So it was a really collaborative project. And then, you know, I work with Finestro, who's another amazing producer. Cats like Theory Has It. You know, I did an EP with Theory Has It. You know, every now and then I'll you know, produce the beat myself, or, you know, sit with some musicians and kind of just create it on the spot, or just build it on the spot. But yeah, mostly I work with, I try to keep it, you know, in-house, not in-house, I don't know if in-house is the right word, but, you know, with friends and family, folks that I vibe with, that I connect with, that I respect. There's a mutual respect and love for the art, for each other as humans, and we create good music, you know.
Yo, blah, 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 blah.
I think, you know, a big part of what I feel is my like mission as a human and as an artist is to champion family and faith in art, and to champion, you know, art in with the family, right? To champion home within the art, and to champion art within the home, if that makes sense. So, you know, when I'm at home with the kids, with my wife and kids, a lot of times people think they can't coexist. Or a lot of times people think there's like some sort of separation, right? But I'm very passionate about marriage. I'm very passionate about fatherhood, and I'm very passionate about hip hop and art. And so for me, a big part of my, I guess, goal is to kind of communicate that and express that in a way that makes sense to people, where they see, oh, like, you know, we are a multi-faceted, dimensional, you know, people. Like, it doesn't have to be all segmented, you know what I'm saying? At the same time, there's a lot of stereotypes about hip hop. There's a lot of stereotypes, negative stereotypes about hip hop and about fatherhood and about marriage. And so I take, I don't know if take pride is the right way to put it, but I feel kind of, you know, compelled to combat those negative stereotypes. And like I said before, to champion marriage, and to praise my wife publicly, and to praise fatherhood and my kids publicly, and to you know, to praise and give props to the art that we know as hip hop, and emceeing, and push that also to the forefront, and faith, you know what I'm saying? So all of these things is a kind of a part of my, you know, the way I'm thinking as an artist and just as a human in general. Yo, my name is Randy Mason. I'm a hip hop artist and a husband and a father from the Bronx, and you can connect with me, follow me, yo, send me messages, let's build. On Instagram, Randy Mason Music. You could go to my website, randymason.org. You can, you know, yeah, that's the main spots where I'm working a lot. So it's Spotify, Apple Music, wherever your music is being streamed, you can check me out there as well.
We coach Dr. Commerce. I told him now, we gon' rap in concerts. Don't need a sponsor, all I ever needed was my word. LA with the goals and I ain't never play soccer. I thought we had to never made my mom and my pop. Now I gotta make a pattern, niggas out to be out of work. The part of me got outbursts. I just get excited about the matter like Albert. And no, I'm not playing without works. I bring the good book up in the building, that's my brother the brother. You leave me home, they ready for the hip-hop counselor. Who'll make a kid feel about as big as a bouncer. I'll make a king feel about as tall as a tower. I'll make a young man want to lift with his shoulders. Don't be a doubter, no, don't be a downer. This is food for the soul served over the counter. Yo, I rock the mic, got the light and the power. If I just want to say something about it and power. If I just want to say something fresh and powder. To see you make a face like you can say something sour. I ain't a hater, being loud as announcers. So we gon' turn this up just a little bit louder. And if you ever see my name up on the marquee, pray it ain't the day I miss a mark so markedly. I'm trying to brush up on my artistry and archery to let